Hello and welcome to another webinar with the Accountants Mastermind. My name is Mark and I am here today with Nicole Dawson from StreemConnect. And Nicole is going to talk to you all about how to start saving time on making tax digital. Say hello, Nicole.
Hello.
Hello, and let's get started. I'll pass over to Nicole.
Yeah, so I'm going to run through parts of the StreamConnect system. So what I'll do is I'll share my screen. I'll run through a few of the details. If anyone's got any questions after, feel free to contact either myself or Mark, and we'll also be offering a full demo of the system after as well. So I'll get started. So this is the dashboard where you would come into when you first log into StreamConnect. This is basically where you can see your client overview, so anyone that's fully integrated, your low on funds, and you're approaching 90 days. The low on funds and the approaching 90 days have been made slightly redundant because of some of the updates that we've made, but I'll talk through them as we go through the system. So the first part that I'm going to show you is the managing the users. So this is where all of your users within your practice would sit. So if you're adding anyone here, you just need to create a new user. We'll call this one, we'll just call it Accountants Mastermind, if I can spell. And then I'll just use my email for this one. So with this, you can select here the client access that you want to give this person. So if you only wanted them to have this one, for example, you can do that. If you want them to have access to all of them, you can also do that. This part here, so account level, you've got your manager and you've got your basic. So say you've got someone that's just down as the admin, you can just pop them down as basic or manager as well. So you just save changes and they'll just pop up here. And you've just got the option to resend the email there as well. What you can also do from here as well is go into your profile. So you can adjust obviously first name, like company name, that sort of thing. One of the things that is important on this page is the SMS company name, which I'll show you why that's important later when I show you the texts that your client gets when we are requesting the bank statements from them. So just with this, make sure it is your accountancy practice name so they know who that's coming from. You can change your email, your password, and your two-factor authentication here as well if you want to add that as well. So from here, we'll go into the client table. So this is where you can see all of your clients that are in StreamConnect. So you can either mass import clients or add a new client. If you choose to import them, what we've done is we've created a template. So this will show you exactly which columns you need to put in, and then you would just upload the file and import that. What this will do is it will add them to the system, but it won't request the bank details. It's just in case you want them all on there so you can see who's linked, who's not, that sort of thing. Alternatively, what you can do is you can add a new client. So again, we'll just call this one Accountants Mastermind. And the email address, again, I'll just pop in my email address. And their first name, second name. And then another thing that's important here is their mobile number. So make sure that you put their mobile number in because it's much easier to link their bank details via the mobile as opposed to the email. So I'll just put my details in. In fact, I'm going to use this one's 2 seconds there. Just got a new number, so trying to remember it's a nightmare. So it's 7. And then you've also got the partner admin and the manager and the advanced options here. The partner admin and the manager are also important to put in, as these will be the people that are getting the email reminders if you need to relink the client, and any other reminders, which I'll show you some of the automation that we've added into the system as well that you would get. So I'll just pop Accountants Mastermind in here and myself in as the manager. We've also added these other options as well. So you've got tags. So if you've got any clients that you do payroll for, any CIS clients, anything like that, you can pop that in. And you've also got your user access. So if there's only certain people that you want to have access, you can do that. Again, you can just click and it'll just show you that. And then you've also got the automatic relink and reminders, which is what I've mentioned up here. So you can turn that on for your staff and also your client if you want them to know. You can turn this off because, again, I'll show you why you don't have to remind your client every time you need relinking as well. So I'll just do that here. So what that's doing is inviting that client now. So I'm going to go into create bank link. And you can see here the email, the SMS, copy on screen, and then the email and SMS. I'm going to go onto my seconds there. I'll just turn my Bluetooth on. Go onto my iPhone. And what you'll be able to see here is all of the messages that will come through. And you can see here that this message has come through here. Mark, just to double check.
Yeah, I was just going to say we can't see the phone.
Can you not see that? I thought that may be the case. So 2 seconds, I'm just going to share it again. Right, you should be able to see it now.
Yeah,
You'll just see all the bottom. So basically what will come through is this message here, and you can see where it says StreamX at the top. That's what I was talking about with the practice name. And then here, this is the message that comes through. So your client will just have to click onto this. It'll take them through to this web page. So it'll tell them exactly what it is that we're requesting. It'll tell them that you're able to view the bank account statements for 90 days. And it takes about a minute of their time. And it just shows them how it works as well. So you just click link your account now. And then again, they can just click into these just to see what details it shows. Press continue. And you can see the institutions have come up here. So what we've done is we've put the most popular ones here, but I know someone had asked sort of how many banks are linked. We have got over 100 linked now, so you can click in here. For example, we've got some Irish ones in there. If there is any that we haven't got on there that you do need access to, you can always just get in touch with us and we can see if we can link them as well. But just for today, I'm going to use the Barclays one. So I'm just going to use the online bank and personal. Continue to log in. And what this will do, it's very similar to when you do online shopping and there's a verification where you need to go into your banking app just to confirm it. So I'll just pop in my details. And that'll just log you into there. Once this is logged in, it'll pop up and you can select the accounts that you allow access to. One thing that I will mention while I'm in here is the links. So the links are per bank and institution. So if you wanted to select multiple accounts, that's still only classed as one link as opposed to multiple links. If, for example, your client had an account in Barclays and an account in Halifax, that's classed as 2 links, but I'll go into that a bit later. So you just press continue. It'll take them back to this page where it'll just load for about a minute just to confirm all the details are correct in the background. And that's now linked. So if I click back into this here, press refresh, and you can see the accounts are linked here. It takes about a minute for it to fully pull through so you can see it. So what I'll do in the meantime is I'll just go into another one. So I'll just go into the bank table here and I'll just show you what it looks like. So you just click into view accounts You can download the account and you can download it in various different templates. So if you use Sage, Xero, QuickBooks, you can download them and it's in the correct template as well. And you can just select what dates you want if you wanted to upload that anywhere else. And you can view that. And this is where all the transactions are shown here. So you can change the dates again if you wanted to go back to Feb. You can also search for things as well. So say, for example, you wanted to check that they paid HMRC, you can see that there. If you wanted to look for minimum and maximum accounts, you can also see that as well. So now what I'm going to do is show you Analyze. So Analyze is one of our newer products. So we've created this for making tax digital, which I know is a talking point for a lot of people at the minute. It's sort of how we're going to have time to do it and various other things. So we're hoping we've made that a bit easier for you. So all you'll need to do is press Get Started. And from here, you create a new report. So you would select the bank that you want to use. Make sure you select the correct account. So I'll just select this top one. And say we're going to do it from January to today. You select the tax code type. So you've got either rental or sole trader. So I'm going to select sole trader for now. Client industry, you can choose the various industries. I'm going to choose construction for today, just so I can show you the CIS options as well. And then the tax return type. So we've got short form on here now, but full form is coming soon, and then potentially limited companies following that as well once we've done the full form. So once that's done, you just click Build Report, and that'll start building. Once this is fully built, you'll get an email just to notify you that is the case, and then you'll be able to start using it. It takes a couple of minutes, so what I'll do, I'll just use this one for now, just in terms of quickness, just to show you what that looks like once it is built. So what you have here is your expenditure and your revenue. So I'll go through the expenditure first. So you can see here all of the tax codes are completed. If you did have any that were outstanding, it would show in this blue box here as to any of the ones that were outstanding. So just make sure that when you are completing this, before you export the tax return analysis, all of this is zero here. So from here, this is where you can start coding all of your transactions. So say, for example, you wanted these ones here to have a different tax code. You can just click whichever ones you want, and that will update all of those. But if you wanted this one here, which has 5 transactions, say you were looking at this and say one of them was fuel as opposed to something else, you can go to travel expenses and you can change that. And you can see here this tax code's changing to multiple. Again, with the CIS as well. So say, for example, you wanted this one to be CIS, you can click that. Unclick these ones. And that'll change there. And you can show up to 100 entries as well, so you can just start working through these. And it's the same for the revenue as well, so you can change them as well. So we've got capital account, we've got sales, so I'll just show you what that looks like with the capital account as well. So I'll just select those 2 for now. Once you're happy with how these are all coded, you press Export Tax Return Analysis, Export Tax Code and Data, and this will move into the exports. So where you were building the reports here, you've now got the exports. And again, this will start building, and I'll show you here. This is the one that we've just created, and you can see that's already ready to go. So it only takes a couple of minutes. Again, what I'll do is I'll use the one that I've already got downloaded. So this one here, go into my downloads, open this up, and this is what we'll show here. So this is the Excel sheet that you've built from doing the analysis on StreemConnect. So you've got your summary here. What we've done with this page, this is just something, so it's sort of to make sure that you've sort of crossed all the T's, dotted the I's. So basically it's things like your refunds, are they going to pay it? Are they going to pay through a refund? Is it going to be direct debit? Have they signed their engagement letter? Yes. Has it been authorised with the HMRC? When do you expect it to be completed? So one of the things to keep an eye out for with this page and the profit and loss, any of the ones that are editable are in grey, so you can see clearly which ones you can start adding into. So this is the profit and loss page, which is starting to build through the other tabs. So as I build the other tabs, I'll come back to this so you can see how this changes. So for example, you can see the cost of goods sold, the travel expenses that we put in, and then this bit here is the mileage and the allowance, which is here on the tabs further down. Say, for example, as well, this person had a dividend income of 30,000. You can pop that in and you can see this is starting to populate. You can add any others in, any rental income and any other income, you can start adding that. So the review grouping page, this is the page that shows you how you created this, this Excel on StreemConnect. So you can just refer back to this just in case you make any changes across the other tabs. You can refer back and just confirm that it is correct what you have changed. So this is the revenue page here. And as you can see, all the tax codes are pulled through. But say, for example, this one here, you can see that's sales and you want to change that. You can always just click and it will change. What I would recommend is doing it in StreemConnect, as because of the formulas that we've got in the Excel, it does take a couple of seconds just to make sure that it's pulling through. So if you want to do it nice and quickly, do as much as you can in StreemConnect. Obviously, if you've got a couple of changes to make, that's fine. It's just, like I said, with the formulas, it sort of makes it a little bit laggy. And then you can see here, because I'd selected the CIS on the original report, this is start to pull through as well. So say we wanted this one as CIS, we would click yes. You can see the amount was this. So say, for example, the materials were 500 and you can see the CIS amount starting to pull through here, which is obviously the amount that would be taxable. Again, with the expenditure, it's the same. So if you wanted to change this one, a cost of goods sold, telephone, tax, fax, stationery, you can change that. And all that's doing is building this here as well. So you can see further down, you've got the tax for the CIS is pulled through from here, from the expenditure, from the revenue, sorry, there we go. What you've also got is the cash income and expenses. So say, for example, we did the first and we called it job 123 and it was supplier ABC and the amount was 500. The method was cash. You would pop in your tax code. So say this one was sales. Again, that will start pulling into your profit and loss as well. So that'll start pulling through up here. We've also added journals because I know how much accountants love a journal. So you've got this as well. So say, for example, you've got the first 2025 and it's job 123 again, supplier ABC. And you've got the debit. Just make sure you pop it in the same date when you're doing it. And then just pop in the credit. And you can see this bit here will start updating. So that goes back to Xero. So just make sure this always stays Xero, which I'm sure you all know with journaling. So again, say this is cost of goods sold and then that one there. Just with the cash income and expenses as well, one of the other things to mention is for expenses, just make sure that you use negatives. And then for the positive, like for sales, make sure you use positives so that'll pull through correctly. Whereas with the journals, we've got the debit and the credit. What we've also added is the mileage and the allowance. So I'll just use Durham, which I'm sure you can tell from my accent, I'm from up north. So we'll just say 30 working weeks and say they're doing 500 miles. It's daily and they're doing it every Saturday, but not a Sunday, and they're returning. You can see this will start populating up here with the higher and the lower rate. And you can see here in the profit and loss, this is here. You can add the method used, but it automatically populates whichever one's higher for you as well. So you can do that if you would like to. And you can see that's changed. What you can also do as well, so I'll just drop this one way miles down to 10. and you can see the lower rates disappeared as well. So that'll always update just in line with what you can and can't claim. And then you've got the employment income adjustments as well. So if anyone does have any employment work that they need to be included, you can just do that. So we'll just call this job 1. You put in the reference, the leave date. So we'll just pop the 29th of April in. The gross, we'll just pop 500 in, and we'll just pop 300 in for here. Any job related expenses, just pop that in. Any travel, any subscriptions, so just £10, any expenses, and any capital allowances, you can pop that in. So that'll start populating through as well. And again, that'll be in your profit and loss as well. So you can see this is starting to build up nicely, and you're able to sort of work through all of the details. You've also got the bank statements in here as well. So this is the original bank statement that you did request from the client. So you can see exactly where everything's pulling from. Again, it's just a little touch point just so you know what the raw data looks like. You've got the capital account as well, the revenue and the expenses. So say, for example, you've got a sole trader who is using the same bank account. You can add all of that in as well, just so that's not affecting the tax return. So you've got your revenue and your expenses. So just make sure with the capital account, when you're going through the details on StreemConnect, any that are capital account details, just make sure that you've coded them up correctly, and then that'll start pulling through into here. So that's everything on the analyze, but if anyone does have any questions about that, again, feel free to reach out after the demo, and I'll be able to go into it because I know there's a lot of information. So now what I'm going to do is go back into StreemConnect, and there's a couple of other features that I can tell you about as well. So this one is a brand new feature, which is the scanning. So if you've got anyone that's slightly old school, that doesn't want to link their bank, they haven't got internet banking, anything like that, and they use their paper bank statements, we can do the scanning. And with the scanning now, that'll allow you to use StreemConnect exactly the same as if you had the bank links. So all you would need to do is scan in the bank statements, and you'll be able to do things like analyze and everything else on there. We've got Reconciler as well. So what Reconcile is it basically makes sure that all of the transactions are dated correctly and everything links, rather than you sort of scrolling through and pulling your hair out and wasting time sort of looking for a transaction that's gone missing. What this will do is it'll find it, and it'll highlight exactly which ones are missing. And say, for example, one it has taken a couple of days just to like push through the banking system. Say if it's been pending for a few days, it'll highlight that as well. So then you'll be able to change the dates on that, which makes it much quicker as well. I know the likes of Xero seems to have a bit of an issue. It always tends to be around Christmas time for some reason. It seems to sort of muck up the dates and things. And I know accountants are like, this is the last thing I need. So you've got that. You've also got the verify report as well. So with this as well, you can just verify the reports if you need them for any sort of like examples or evidence, anything like that as well. What I'm also going to do is go back into the bank table. So I'll just click leave for that, and I'll show you something else as well. So we've added balance alerts here. So you've got your lows and your highs. So you can edit that. So you can name them whatever you want to name them, and you can pop in your lows and your highs. What a lot of the accountants that use StreemConnect tend to do is pop a low on of say 10,000 and a high of 50,000. It just means that they can start having more proactive conversations with the clients about, say, if they need any business funding or if they need any sort of planning help, anything like that. And again, with the highs, you can do that. So once it hits the 50,000, you know that they're possibly going to go into the higher tax threshold, depending on what they've still got going on in the year. So then you can have those conversations as well, just in terms of that. One of the other things that we've sort of created this for as well, which I know someone had sort of asked the question prior to the call, was will you get your money's worth out of StreemConnect? Is it worth using? We have got another part of the software called StreamUp, which is a referral scheme. So if you do have any clients that want commercial finance, any wealth planning, any mortgages, anything like that, you can use that as the referral scheme, and you would be able to earn an income from that as well. So that can either cover StreamConnect or it's sort of classed as a second revenue as well. And that's pretty much everything in terms of StreamConnect. Like I said, there's a bit more to go into if you wanted a longer demo, but they are the sort of details that I wanted to show you. Like I said, just to make sure that you can see how StreamConnect can help with the Making Tax Digital.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So if it's okay, we'll go through some of the questions we've been asked. I'll go through them here. Let's just, there we go. Let's turn that off and in case you need it later on. So a couple of questions. So are there any, so Andy asked, are there any banks that StreamConnect does not connect with?
So there's none that we've sort of come across yet. We seem to have all of the ones that people use, but like I said, if there is any that you're finding that it doesn't link to, I know it links to the likes of PayPal and things like that as well, which I know someone had mentioned,
Yeah.
but it's just a case of if you pop us a question, we can see if we can add that. It's just sort of we've added the ones that we know people have sort of asked about and the banks that we know of. So yeah, anyone that's sort of in the UK that's a bank, and like I said, the Irish ones as well, they're all on there, we think.
Yeah. Apart from maybe some obscure ones. Brilliant. Okay,
Yeah.
so you've mentioned about the PayPal. So Shema asked, do credit card statements have opening and closing balances as well as the PayPal question?
Yes, yeah. So it works exactly the same. So you would just add on the bank account and it's live as well. So you've got that.
Excellent. Lorraine's just asked in the Q&A, does it link with Unity Trust Bank?
I would have to double check for you. And I've just realised as well, you can do the renew bank connections, which I've realised I've completely forgot about, which also I did say that I was going to show you. So
Yeah.
2 seconds, I'm just going to go back into that. So if I click view accounts, so one of the things that we've got is the status here. So you can see here we've added the filters here. So you've
Can't
got
see
the
anything at the
under,
minute. Sorry,
you
Nicole.
can't see it. I knew that would happen. It's the second I come off Zoom. So you've got here, so the filters. So you've got the status here. You can filter to anyone under 21 days, anyone to today, and anyone to expired. So say, for example, we clicked on today or under the 21 days, you can see here that this one expires in 8 days. So rather than chasing the client to relink again, you can press renew connection, press continue, and this will take you to the similar sort of pages to what your client originally saw. So you press continue. You can click whichever account you want, press allow. I'll just load through and you can see that's gone successful. Just go back into this and you can see this has gone back down to expires in 90 days. So it's much quicker for you. It means you don't have to chase the client. And with this as well, it just means that you've got that for it's up to a year and a half to 2 years, depending on the banking institution. Again, it's sort of a case of we know this with certain banks, it may be slightly more, it may be slightly less, depending on the banking institution as well.
Yeah, so I know that's quite a big bugbear for lots of accountants and bookkeepers in the fact that they have the links and they have to keep renewing it, or they
Yeah.
have to ask their customers to renew it. And obviously, if customers are being slow on their uptake of it, then it causes them some frustration. So I guess that's an improvement, I guess, on when we first sort of saw StreamConnect because I think it was every
Yeah.
90 days then, wasn't it? It was a
Yeah.
big thing.
Just
Excellent.
made it much easier. It just sort of saves people being sat there on like the 30th of January thinking I'm not going to get this done because you've already got the bank details, which is much easier.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, so Sinead asked, is this an MTD solution for quarterly submissions also?
Yeah, so you can do the analyze whenever you want. So where I'd shown the months there where you can filter, you could do that every quarter if you wanted to. The bank links last for 90 days, and you've seen there where you can just renew it. So if you wanted to do a quarterly, you can do that, which is what the short form is going to be used for, which is why we've got this rolling now. So people's got nearly a full year for sort of use it before it's made that you've got to do that every quarter.
And something else that we love here at the Accounts Mastermind, tax returns. Obviously, how is it helping people with their tax returns? What sort of benefits is it to use StreamConnect to help?
Yeah, we've had a lot of good feedback in the last sort of month that people's been using it. We've found a lot of people sort of being able to do them a lot quicker. The clients are finding it easier because they're not sort of seeing it as a case of, oh, I've got to run to the office and I've got all these receipts and I'm just going to shove you an Asda bag full of all my receipts and my bank statements and that sort of thing. This just makes it so much cleaner and easier. And it just means that the clients got less to stress about as well because that's what they use an accountant for. It's to make sure that that's one less thing off their plate as well. So it makes it easier for the client and easier for the accountant as well.
Excellent. Tina's asked a question which prompted me to for another one I thought of while you was doing the demonstration. So Tina's is around, can you get an email reminder for link expires, or is it by reviewing the Stream Connect screen?
Yeah, so that's so when I was showing you the manager and the partner, just underneath there you've got the reminders there. So that will send an email directly to the manager and the partner. You can choose to send it to your client if you would like to, or if you would just rather sort of leave them be, you can do that as well, and you will get that just to give you an update when you need to link it. I think it's set for 21 days beforehand. So once it goes to like that yellow that I just showed you there, you can see that. And again, with that, you can filter as well. So all of that's there.
And does that work the same with any of the, so you've got the, I think you had the minimum and maximum amount on the banks as well. Does that email you as well? Is it
Yes,
coordinated?
yes, that email's here as well. Yes, so you've got that. So that just sends you a quick email just to say this person's gone below this threshold. Obviously you don't have to use the 10,000, the 50,000. You can do whatever you want with that. It's just what we've sort of set it to because I know a lot of people's using that. So if you wanted to put, I don't know, £500 in, you can do that. So yeah, that's all there.
Excellent. John asked why use this rather than direct link to Xero, for example, apart from the not working it over Christmas.
Yeah, yeah. So I know a lot of people sort of asked about this in the past. A lot of people sort of use StreamConnect as potentially a stepping stone to using software. I know a lot of people sort of aren't as digital. So you've got obviously the Making Tax Digitals coming in. So you know there's a lot of accountants that maybe don't use anything at the minute. We feel like it's simple enough to use. And again, obviously, it just makes sure that all of those little bits are sort of covered. So like the reconciler, that's on there, and also the machine learning as well on the analyze. So we've started adding that. So basically, what that is, as long as you've got the bank links, sort of linked. That machine learning will remember that. So it just means that when it comes to doing a tax return next time, you've got that there ready to go, and it just saves you so much time as well. A lot of people use it alongside the likes of Xero, QuickBooks, Sage, which is why we've created the CSVs because we don't want to sort of say, oh, never use these again. And we understand people sort of got their processes. It's also good for, say, someone doesn't want to use Xero and they don't want to be uploading all of their data onto there, like the client themselves. It just means that you've got this already and it's also live as well. So where Xero, obviously, you're dependent on that information being put onto there. This is just live, so obviously it's just constantly updating for you.
Okay, so in my language, which obviously is probably in between you and the audience somewhere, or
Yeah.
probably lower than, is that Xero, I think it does it once or twice a day, and you have to force it if you want it to do it more, whereas yours is going to be constantly. So if there's something that's come in that they've not seen, they will get
Yeah,
it straight away. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Excellent. So I think, well, Lindsay asked, will this save time chasing for bank statements each quarter? I think that's a unanimous yes, isn't it?
I would hope so.
You're not going to be chasing anymore, so won't save time chasing because you won't be doing the chasing anymore, but it will
Yeah,
save you at the time in order to do so. And
yeah,
obviously, Laura's then asked about will you have to reconnect every 90 days, which you've already
Yeah.
covered. Yeah, Tina, we're coming on to pricing just now. So my next question is what's the price? And I believe you've got an offer for the Accountants Mastermind members.
Yeah, so what we've decided to offer the Accountants Mastermind members, we changed our pricing in April and we've decided to honour the previous pricing that we've given to all of our existing clients. So it's £2.50 per link, which is per banking institution. So when I'd mentioned you could have as many accounts, say if they were in HSBC, that would be classed as one link. However, what I'll also show you, this one is a bit like it's up to date. Can you see my screen again, or has
No.
it gone off again? No, go back onto it. The joys of technology.
Well, never get a new computer the day before you're going to do a webinar.
No, I know. So you can see here the pricing calculator. Now this has got the £3 per month in, so we'll be able to send out the £2.50 per month link in there. But you've also got these discounts here as well. So for example, if you have 99 clients using StreamConnect, it's £297 a month based on the £3. But if you have 100, you can see that drops down to 270. So that 10% discount is for every link up till that 100. So it's not just from the 100. So I'm happy to send out the pricing calculator with the £2.50 on. It's just a case of we've updated our website for any new clients now so they can see that. But we're happy to honour the £2.50 per month and then still the discounts as well.
Excellent. I think Michelle will post that in the chat box now. So if anybody wants, there you go, already. So if anybody wants to sign up, they can do. You get a 7-day free trial as well, so you can have a play about with it for 7 days. Nicole will also call you up. So if you click on that link and you want a bit of a further demo or there's any questions, and Nicole will follow that up anyway. So you can click on that. And if you're watching the recording, it'll be somewhere below. Yeah, so I don't think we've got any more questions. So if anybody else has anything, please do ask. I think Anne is on the call. There was a question from Anne, which I didn't quite understand. So Anne asked about how to automate just about anything. I don't know if you've got any further, if there is anything missing from what you've seen so far, and if you pop that in the Q&A box. But alternatively, I think that's it from us. So thank you very much for joining us, Nicole, and sharing StreamConnect with the Accountants Mastermind. And that's all I guess for now.
Well, yeah, like I
Thank
said,
you.
if anyone's got any questions, just feel free to get in touch. And if you want to use the free trial, I'll get in touch around 48 hours after you've started using it, just to make sure that everything's working. But like I said, if there is any other questions, just let me know.
We've just had one sneak in. Tina's just said,
Okay.
what happens to capital expenditure? I didn't see a BS.
The what, sorry?
What happens to capital expenditure? I didn't see a BS, which obviously I don't know what
Okay.
that is, but
So let me just pull it through.
balance sheet. Thank you, Tina.
So the capital account, this bit here, so these the amounts here that will just come off the profit and loss. So that will just sort of be removed so it's not affecting the tax return.
Excellent. Excellent. There we go. Okay, so as I said, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you all again soon.
Yeah, brilliant.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching our webinar with Nicole Dawson from StreamConnect. In this webinar, Nicole talked all about how you can save time chasing your customers for bank statements and also the upcoming MTD. So if you liked what you saw, please click on like on the video and also subscribe to our channel to ensure that you see the content that we post up regarding you and ensuring that we inspire, challenge and support you to be the best you can be. So on this video somewhere below, you will see some videos that we suggest you watch next. Thanks for watching.